If you're wondering, that's my kid over there, and he's having like his what WTF moment because I'm a parent. Okay, now, as a parent with my kid here, I can't say what the fuck. So when I say, oh my God, then I'll hold the microphone up and you guys can say it for me because I really shouldn't say that. Okay, it kind of starts before you have the kid, you have the image of how it's going to be versus the image of how it actually is. I imagined, because I wasn't just a parent, I went from working full-time to being a stay-at-home mom, and I really thought that I was going to have like pot roast on the table, standing at the door, holding the baby as my husband made his way up the walk, and he would come inside, kiss the baby on the forehead, and the baby would go in this bassinet, and we would just calmly talk about our day and have this very adult discussion. I don't think we had one of those. I don't think we've had one yet. I have a 23-year-old and an 18-year-old. But, actually, so mine really starts, and for the most part, I'm going to keep these stories under 10 years old just because it's not kind after that. But, okay, so my daughter was my firstborn. She's 23 now. She came home, and 4.5 months later, I got my first good night's sleep. And I'm not kidding. Like, that's not an exaggeration. Oh my God. What? Yeah, totally. She had colic, but she also had this thing called reflux. And if anybody here has had a baby that has had reflux, what that is there's like an immature flap at the base of the baby's stomach, and I don't know how to use all the right terms, but basically you feed your baby, and then you go to do anything else with your baby, or even when you don't do anything else, and the baby projectile vomits. If you've seen The Exorcist, it's kind of like that, but it's not green. And I'm not kidding, oh my God. And I'm telling you, every time I ever went anywhere with the baby, I brought several changes of clothes for Caroline and for me. And I'm not kidding, that was really the way it went. And it's not a really good way to bond, but after a few months, it was kind of okay. And I'm going to skip with her because I'm going to focus most of these on my son, who's actually here tonight, because, you know, I want him to enjoy that. But the one with my daughter, this is the thing that I think you millennials have kind of rejected, and that's the notion of, and I hope I'm not spoiling this for anybody here, that's the notion of the Easter Bunny and Santa. If anybody here, like, everybody knows, right? Does anybody not know? Okay. But my daughter wanted to know if the Easter Bunny was real. She was curious. She was, what, 4.5 at this point? Wanted to know if the Easter Bunny was real. And I had a really hard time with that because the whole what is reality thing, for one thing, but she was too young. But also, you know, I wanted the Easter Bunny to be real because it was really fun for me. But she really wanted to know. Or she told me she really wanted to know. And she puts her little 4.5-year-old hands just like this. Mommy, tell me, really, don't lie. And I said, no, honey, the Easter Bunny's not real. And she immediately said, Mommy, why didn't you lie? Oh my God. I mean, you know, kind of ruined it for me. And then she said, what about the tooth fairy? And I couldn't even keep it straight. She said, yeah, I guess the only one that's really real is Santa, Mom, because there's history. And so I just let that go. Totally let that one go, because I was having a really good time with Santa. So that's the other story of my daughter. Robert's are a little more interesting, because Robert's just an interesting guy. Kind of starts, Robert was 17 months before he walked. And kids who walk late don't really start out walking. They often start off running and climbing everything. And Robert was no exception. Robert was less than 2, maybe right at 2, when the doorbell rang one day and I opened my front door, and there he was. He was supposed to be down for a nap, but he had gone out the back door and run around the front and thought it was so cute. And he was in his diaper. So that's the first time. I mean, my daughter she was really calm kid, not Robert. Then we moved to Ohio. We moved to a neighborhood with flat driveways, because that was the priority to the kids. Next door neighbors had them out with the sidewalk chalk, and all the kids were tracing each other and then decorating themselves on the driveway of the next door neighbor. Robert was younger than all the other kids there. And they were really all my daughter's age, and mostly little girls. And a couple of only children in that group too, when you toss that in. And they're 5 years older than him. So he starts drawing penises on all the tracings. Of all the little girls. And Caroline came running to the door, and she was like, oh my God. Robert wasn't really done there, though. Whenever Caroline would have a friend over, if they wouldn't play with them, and they went outside, actually you only followed through once completely. Robert liked to pee in the front yard in front of them, okay? Because he learned early on that nothing was going to piss his sister off more than to pee in the front yard in front of her little friends from school. But the ultimate, oh my God, what the fuck? Story is actually an EP Cooker story. And it was Robert's first EP Cooker performance. And Robert had in mind what he wanted to do. And he told me what he wanted to do. And Robert's sort of a stand-up comic performance artist kind of guy. And he required some Kraft macaroni and cheese, some duct tape, and a Sunny Delight, I think it was, and a bra. So, took him to TJ Maxx, to the clearance section of the lingerie. And I'm really okay shopping for a bra for my son, because whatever. I mean, I'm truly open-minded mom. Aren't I cool? Like, aren't I so cool for that? But no, I was really okay with that. The problem came in when every time we went to talk about which bra would be appropriate in our price range, there were like 3 other people on the aisle. And it's really hard to say things like, do you think it'll hold up with macaroni and cheese in it? Without people really questioning your parenting skills. And it's kind of like, oh my God. But and he actually did an awesome job, and he showed up for this EP cooker in Kiss boots. Seth, you were there. Yeah. You were there, Emily, yeah. Thomas, yeah. Number of you. Benjamin and Kyle, I don't think you guys were there. They were on the thing. Okay, so Robert has legitimate Kiss boots. Like really, the most awesome. He could be in Kiss with these boots. And he wore them for the first time. And he's helping the guys set up beforehand, and he falls off his boots. And it's a long fall. And he goes to get back up, and every time he started trying to walk, he'd fall back off of them again. So he started saying that he thought he needed to go to the emergency room, and he had never performed stand-up before. So kind of tried to prolong it to see, is this just stage fright? He went to the ER. The kid broke his ankle. Came back to the EP cooker and gave his performance like the rock star those boots would indicate he was. And he killed it, but there is really nothing like watching people get in line to eat macaroni and cheese out of your son's bra. I'm just saying, oh my God.